My name is Fred Sanchez. I was born in Peoria, Arizona, 1963, at the West Side Clinic here in Peoria, which is about 97th Avenue in Grand, roughly, where the 101 is today. Knowing where we come from is very important. So I want to talk a little bit about my family. My mom and dad were born here in Arizona. My mom's name is Dolly Sanchez, and my dad's name is Frank Sanchez. I grew up with 7 siblings. I'm the second to the youngest. But growing up with that large family, it was pretty exciting. Saturdays were our chore day, where we washed clothes, seemed like all day Saturday because there's so many of us. And mom pretty much raised us by herself. Dad worked. He'd go from state to state and help make sure the fields were being seeded right and fertilized and harvested and sent out. So mom raised us pretty much by herself. And I think she did a great job. She was limited a little bit. I say a little bit. She had rheumatoid arthritis. She was in a wheelchair. Physically, she was limited, but her heart and her passion for people and wanting to do things was unlimited. I remember growing up, Good Friday, you'd be out of school. So she organized to have a little Easter egg hunt for them. So she coordinated with Hickman's Egg Ranch to get real eggs. So everyone was boiling eggs, coloring them, made cupcakes. McDonald's provided the orange drink. So we started there at Varney Park, and it went very well. The city of Peoria picked up and caught the spirit of what she was trying to do. They brought the egg hunts, the celebration, to the Peoria Sports Complex. If mom was to see that, she'd be blown away. She passed in 1984 at the age of 48, way too young. But her heart and passion for people kept going. Going to school in Peoria, I remember going to school at the downtown Central. And then second grade on through high school was at the Peoria High School grounds. We used to walk to school even at second grade. Man, it felt like a long walk, and it really wasn't, but it felt like a long walk. I have a lot of friends that I went to grade school that are still friends today. My best friend, Emmanuel Delgado, lives down the street from us, and we're friends today still. It was great times growing up in Peoria. We lived in Dogtown. Is a neighborhood. It was called, back then I think it was really called Varney Tract. The official name was Varney Tract, and we named it Dogtown just because all the dogs that were running around. I think the mailman really didn't like it because of all the dogs. So Dogtown was amazing to grow up in. It really almost felt like there was a blanket around us, and this, like, we're all in this community. It felt like that. We wouldn't lock our doors at night. We wouldn't, and we played with each other running around the streets, having a great old time, just not a care in the world. We lived across the street from what is now Varney Park. Before it was a cotton field. And on Saturday mornings, every once in a while, they'd come and spray pesticides with a plane. And we didn't even know. We were just like, God, this is so cool. Look how close this plane's going. At the same time, we're getting sprinkled. Maybe that's why I can't grow beard nowadays. I don't know. That was fun. Just those little things that we did really carry a good memory. But if you did something, mom would find out quicker than you could imagine. So the phone line worked really well. So we'd come home and, hey, what were you doing over in so-and-so's? I heard you did this. And we're like, oh my, how did you find that out? Riding our bikes, we were little bike gangs, but we weren't gangs, but we consider ourselves riding around town. And I remember when you cross the tracks, if you're doing it a little bit late at night, at 9 o'clock, a siren would go off as curfew. It almost felt like, man, we're doing something pretty mischievous here. We got to get home by 9:15. We used to shop at Sun-Made Groceries, Edmund Tang, who was at one point the mayor. Back then, we had an open ticket. Sign your name, put it on Dolly Sanchez's account, and then at the end of the month, when Dad would send the money, Mom would square up with Mr. Edmund Tang, and then we start all over the next month. But that was like our primary grocery store, the little bitty place there. Things like that growing up, just small little items really make you cherish, our bringing up and growing in Peoria. Dogtown wasn't known to be like the best place. It was a little rough, but we didn't know it was rough. I didn't think it was rough, but when you look back and you see all the things that we witnessed or went through and seen, it was rough. I think one of the things that kept us all going, my friends there, is we played a lot of sports. Played baseball, football, wrestled. I even played a year of basketball. Back then there weren't very many parks. You'd go to the school to play. So we'd go down to Peoria High School and elementary school, and that's where we played. So that was a community within a community, and it really built a lot of good character in us, like to work hard. And the coaches that had the biggest impact for me for wrestling was Bobby Gonzalo and Mike Corey. They were the biggest ones for wrestling. Tony Gonzalo was the baseball coach and had a big impact. They all had a big role in my life, and a lot of our friends who played, they had a big role. They were great at, I think, I didn't know it at the time, understanding a lot of us in our backgrounds. You didn't realize that they took that into account to help try to mentor and mold and shape you. So I'm very thankful for a lot of the teachers and coaches in my life that helped mold us and shape us and make us to what we are today. So when I graduated out of Peoria High School, 1981, I went to 1 year of community college, and I think community college and I didn't really mix well. Plus, Mom being not in the best shape, like I should be working. So went to work doing construction. In December of 1984, I married my wife, Kathy, who was a neighbor. My mom would always say, Yolanda, which is my mother-in-law, I really want one of my sons to marry one of your daughters. And thank God it happened, because we're going on 40 years now of marriage, and we have 2 boys who went to Peoria High School, Isaiah and Ezra, and they both played football, they wrestled. Our family's about family. Anything that makes us joyful and fulfilled is our family. And sharing some of the good things that we've been through and some of the history with them, so they understand where they came from. Because Peoria's a special place, even though it's different. The Peoria that we grew up in is in our hearts and our memories, and that's what I like to share with our family and friends.